morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 130. We have college football Saturday. We have college football on Sunday. Oh, wait. We're recording on Thursday. We got games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We have tons of action of NFL and college football. So we're going to talk about some must-watch games that are in the college side. We have must-watch games in the NFL side. And then we will wrap up with Tim's best bets. Hopefully he does better than he did last week, so let's get it started.
Yeah, I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Sox.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. We are on episode 130, and we have a lot to talk about. We have a college football week coming up. We have the first week of NFL. Let's do this. All right, Anthony, from last week, comparing to what we're going to in this week, what is the college football lineup look like?
Yeah, real quick. Number 1, Ohio State. They take a 2-spot jump. Penn State stays right where they were at 2. LSU takes one of the biggest jumps up at 6, going to number 3. Georgia at number 4. Miami at number 5. Number 6, Oregon. Number 7, Texas. Number 8, Clemson. Number 9, Notre Dame. Number 10, South Carolina. 11, Illinois. 12, Arizona State. 13, Florida, 14, Florida State, 15, Michigan, 16, Iowa State, 17, SMU, 18, Oklahoma, 19, Texas A&M, 20, Ole Miss, 21, Alabama, 22, Tennessee, 23, Indiana, 24, Texas Tech, and 25, Utah. Woo! Full breath. Now, the biggest teams that got affected from week 1, obviously, Alabama dropping 13 spots. They don't even deserve to be ranked, in my opinion. And then, obviously, on the other side, who increased the most? I believe Iowa State did, with going up 6 spots, but they played 2 games already compared to everyone else playing 1. But those are your biggest difference. Obviously, it did make sense for Ohio State to go number 1 because they beat the number 1. You get the spot when you beat them.
That's fair. I would definitely agree that's a valid saying there, but we'll see what the rest of their season looks like. Tim, what's your reaction to this list? Do you agree with the ups and downs?
Yeah, I agree. One big one, the Florida schools. I think I've mentioned in the previous podcast. The 3 schools that are in the top 15 first time since 2006. Alabama dropping all the way down. I'm going to tell you right now, if they lose to University of Louisiana Monroe, they might have bake sales and cook-offs to get enough money to fire this guy.
Yeah.
If he loses to a 35-point underdog to them. But everybody remembers Nick Saban, and in one of his first games at Alabama, did lose to University of Louisiana Monroe. So that's just something to think about. But yeah, he has got to win this week.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I mean, you got to think about Nick Saban's coming back from. There wasn't like the Alabama of Alabama before. Like DeBoer came. I think it was Harbaugh said it best. Just because you're on third base doesn't mean you hit a triple. That's that's this whole situation. You definitely have to get going. I laugh because you see Michigan, and we're going to talk about Oklahoma going at it at 15 and 18. After coming from week 1, I want 1s and 2s going at it again. I want 3s and 4s. You get a little taste of that, all this competition week 1, and then week 2, you're like, okay, let's slow it back down. Let's speed up on some of these poor schools, and things like that. The other one takeaway, too, is Notre Dame dropping 3 spots. I don't think that was a huge difference for them. I don't believe that they should have been like Alabama and go down. There was a good chance they were going to lose. It was in Miami. And you lose on a last-second pretty much field goal. That's not too bad for Notre Dame. It's just whether they can keep it after week 3.
No, definitely. Well, let's move into the games this week. Tim, what is your must-watch game this week?
We just kind of talked a little bit about it. Michigan and Oklahoma. These are 2 teams with 2 NIL quarterbacks. John Mateer for Oklahoma and Bryce Underwood. I think the key to this game is Michigan's defense slow down Mateer. the offense or the defensive line coaches already said majority of our game plan is going to be to stop him. And that's dangerous because I think they just got a running back from California, Jaden Ott, that is really good. And I think this game feels like a early round playoff game. I really do. A two lower seeds gonna battle it out to have to play maybe a top seed. I like this. I think this has got a feel in September of a college football playoff game.
Okay. Anthony, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, actually. I don't think either one of these teams make it to the playoffs. I think we find out who the hell these teams are. And what I mean by that is we know Oklahoma, we know Michigan, but you haven't. I mean, last year Michigan was irrelevant outside of the Ohio State game. And then Oklahoma, did you guys play last year? Like, this is where these teams kind of put their, name back out there saying, hey, we're for real. I think Michigan handles it. We just got to see this, young quarterback with Bryce. We'll see how this goes with him. Oklahoma, they beat Alabama last year and everyone was like, oh shit, here we go. And it was like, Alabama was trash last year. Like, I mean, they're trash this year too, but like they were trash last year. So I think one of these teams identifies their back. I just wouldn't be surprised if they lose later in the year. Oklahoma's got a hell of a schedule ahead of them, and Michigan's got to play the Buckeyes eventually as well too.
Yeah, that'll be the true test to it for sure. Well, Anthony, tell me about your game of the week. What must we watch?
Yeah, so must watch for me is the Iowa versus Iowa State. Obviously, in-state rivalry. You're looking at it's a Cy-Hawk trophy, half of the Cyclones, Hawks. I didn't know this. Iowa leads the matchup between the two, 47-24. Iowa State got some time to play up in that one. Iowa State obviously showed they're 2-0. They took a game against Kansas State. Iowa, on the other hand, they're only 1-0 so far, but that offense of Iowa, it feels like they're always pulling something, right? They can just never get it going. A lot of punting. When your best player is a punter, that's a bad thing for Iowa. I think Iowa State handles this game very easily. It's a very close. It's only, I think, 3 points for a spread in there. I think Iowa State handles this. Iowa, on the other hand, they're like Wisconsin. They're relevant for maybe one game a year, and that's about it. It's hard this is one of these teams where when you talk about the Big Ten, you're like, oh, there's Iowa. Final thing I'll say about this is I imagine George Kittle and Brock Purdy have some type of bet on it. They do every year because Brock Purdy went to Iowa State and George Kittle went to Iowa. So we'll have to see how that game kind of ends up, but in-state rivalry.
Yeah, I like the in-states. It brings a little bit more to the atmosphere of the game. Tim, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think this is a close game. I think Iowa put 30 or 30. They scored like 30 or 35 points last week. Might have been against an FCS team, but their offense could give Iowa State, their defense, a lot more to handle too. I think I think the spread is pretty close. I like Iowa going there and beating Iowa State. I think Iowa State is going to have a little reality check. They've won the first two. And I think this could be a lot closer.
Okay. I'm excited. I like those ones, like I said before. Yeah. So it brings more to the game. All right. Well, I saw this and I wanted to get you guys' opinion. Is this normal or is this just this post? But I saw Brian Kelly comments on Dabo's grading system. Is this serious? Tim, have you heard this before?
No, I haven't. And even when Brian Kelly said that, well, they got a 65 and we got a 58. That was pretty close. And then Brian Kelly goes and says, he must not have been watching the game very well. 65 still a fail in my book. I don't know what he's looking at, but that's. I mean, yeah, LSU did play better in the second half, but I love this camaraderie between two not really old veterans. But I mean, they've been around the block a couple times. Yeah, and hopefully, I'd like to see him play again. I really would, and maybe in a semifinal. I love this because Brian Kelly don't give a shit, and neither does Dabo. They're just two old school kind of coaches that just, they don't care. They don't care. They'll throw it on the field.
The speak your mind mentality.
Right.
Anthony, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, these are the nerd kids. These are the nerds that get picked on. Like, this is just dumb. Dabo is such a weirdo. Like, won't pay the NIL, won't do this old shit. Brian Kelly had a Southern accent, doesn't have a Southern accent now. I think when you look at it, like, Dabo is just saying, like, they both didn't play the greatest, which, if you watch the game, you saw that. They didn't play the greatest. It's week 1. You don't have this. But is Dabo going to give them 100 and give him 50, themselves 50%? Right. Doesn't make sense. I just love that when Brian Kelly said they didn't watch the second half because we kicked their ass. You really didn't. Like, you only won by 7. Like, or what was it? It was 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Like, you didn't, and it came down. Like, Cade had a chance. Like, so when you say you kick someone's ass, let's win by more than 7. You know what I mean? Like, let's. I do laugh though because when I look at both these coaches, they're just not the cool coaches, right? You have Oregon's coach, you have Marcus Freeman over at Notre Dame. You have these coaches that people are like attracted to want to play for. And when I think of Brian Kelly, I think of the red face. It looks like he's just crazy. And Dabo running down that goddamn hill as if like someone's chasing him. Yeah, I don't understand like where they thought it was gonna be funny, and here Brian Kelly just you didn't kick their ass. You might have won the second half. You didn't kick their ass though.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, that wraps it up for what we have for college football. Over to NFL, we just wanted to take a moment and get you all in the right mindset. Anthony, take us off.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming into where Thursday night we have football, Friday night we have football, Saturday all day we have football, Sunday we have football all day, and Monday. These are the glory days. At one point, this podcast was talking about hockey and basketball because we didn't have football. And then we didn't have either one of those sports either. And we had to watch that stupid sport called baseball. We are back. We have football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do not take it for granted. Wake up on Saturday. Enjoy your college football. Have too many beers. Because we know what's going to happen, people. We're going to stay up past our bedtimes to watch these games. We're going to gamble too much money on these games. We're going to drink too many Bud Lights and Coors Lights. But we'll wake up on that Sunday morning at 8 a.m. to watch our fantasy football and have maybe a Bloody Mary just to kick the dog or bite the dog that bit us or whatever. Please do not take this for granted. And if people want things to be done on Saturday and Sunday, that's their problem, not yours. Guys, I need a breakout on this one. Cover 2 Cook on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cover 2 Cook.
Cover 2 Cook.
All right.
Thank you for that, Anthony. It was so inspiring. I'm so excited to not get any projects done this weekend.
Yes.
Or until February.
Yep.
Ay. Good thing we have a basement now.
Yep.
Well, speaking of how many football games are happening and going here on out, how are we going to watch these games? We just discovered that Stream East is getting shut down, and we know we can't afford everything else. So what the heck? Anthony, what's going on with Stream East? Is this done for real?
Yeah, so in case no one knew, Stream East was an illegal site that was streaming sports, right? So no matter what your sport was, cricket, I believe, was on there, basketball, football, baseball, all those sports, right? It is hilarious that it's getting shut down the week of week 1 for NFL, as NFL has exploited the ways to have people watch these games. Thursday night, we're watching Amazon. Friday, we're watching it on NFL Network, I believe.
YouTube Live.
Oh, YouTube Live. Yeah, because now we got a new one in there. And then it's, Sunday, we got the Red Zone, which is now with ESPN and all the other bullshit with their Monday night. You want to watch it on ESPN. They have all these ways to watch it. This site is a way for people that, maybe just don't have the type of funds to watch the games, get to watch it, or get to watch more than just their local channels. It is hilarious that it's getting shut down, but, I mean, it'll start back up. There'll be another site, and there'll be another group of people that'll do it, but funny on week 1.
New name. Same. Yeah.
Stream West probably this time.
Yeah.
Tim, what are your thoughts about this being shut down?
I'm not shocked. It's piracy, man. Don't you? They think that you're going to get caught eventually. But in the deal, they got shut down with the Egyptian government was involved with this as well.
Oh.
If we didn't, so that ACE, which is a acronym for something, I have no idea. I didn't really look. They had over us 1.6 billion viewership last year alone. but they did major sports. They did all the major sports, soccer, like you said, maybe cricket. They did a lot of things. But when they raided this place, I don't know if it's in a building or where it was. They confiscated 10 Visa cards and cash worth at least $129,000, which would, I think they said 1.6 billion in Egyptian, which equals out to that one deal. I mean, that's the biggest deal. One person, they interviewed one person, and I'm going to say he was a kid, not a kid, but somewhere probably around maybe your age, maybe a little younger, and said, this is like shutting this down is like your best friend telling you, hey, I'm moving away. And it's a day before school's about ready to start. That's the gut punch of a lot of these kids or a lot of these younger people. Because let me tell you, it wasn't the us people, the older people that was watching it. It was probably younger people. And that's a gut punch to them. I totally get what you're saying as far as the streaming services are out of whack. It is. And the bad deal is the NFL ain't going to do a damn – and none of these major sporting deals are going to do a damn thing about it because there's too much money involved.
Yep.
Too much money. And there's just one more other person. If this Stream East probably would have got in cahoots with some of these, they could have had some of the piece of the pie. I'm not saying a lot of it, but they may down the road got into it. How do you think Netflix got into it? You know what I mean? It was – I think you could go by doing this the right way and still maybe get your foothold into it.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And here's why I'm going to say that. Netflix had to be a multi-billion-dollar company before they got into sports. CBS and all that had to start an app to then finally get sports in there. It is so expensive to probably get into the NFL to stream anything. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and all that. Like, the Amazon is only got one night, and they bitched when they had not even the greatest games. I just think it's so hard to get in here. But like you say, I will tell you right now, there's going to come to a point where you're going to have a streaming service to watch Thursday night, to watch the afternoon games, to watch the evening games, to watch the night game, and then watch a Monday night. Oh, wait, that is already now. Like, it's just, it should be easier to watch these games. And I laugh about these Stream East getting shut down because it doesn't change anything. Like, there'll be someone else that starts it up. And, you know, and what will be nice in about 5 years, 10 years, we'll get a nice little documentary from Netflix probably that shows about all this damn thing. Like, it's just, it's sad because when you know, like, why not just let people, I don't know. I don't know why it has to be such an expensive thing because now at this point with all the sites, you might as well just have cable or DirecTV because it's the same damn price.
Yeah, no, definitely. Totally agree. But speaking about them going down the wrong path and doing this all for money, Red Zone is having full commercials. Tim, I feel like this could be the same argument, don't you?
I agree. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, that's what their name was. 7 hours. Scott Hamilton. Was it Scott Hamilton?
Hanson.
7 hours of commercial-free football. And now you're going to go away from it. ESPN has got their meat hooks into this damn thing again. They're just – you're not going to have the same – I hope viewership don't go down, but here's the deal. I mean, they've got their meat hooks. It's all about money. The NFL wants to push their product, but they also want to push the sponsorship that's behind the NFL Red Zone. It's just you know.
Yes, absolutely. Anthony?
This is why ESPN isn't ESPN. Look, let's be 100% honest. This is why ESPN has to go get Pat McAfee. This is why ESPN has to go get NFL Network. Because they don't know what the consumer frickin' wants. The consumer wants 7 hours of uninterrupted football. And you had a chance to do this. What extra money are you making off of this? Really? You're Disney. Like, what else do you need out of it? And I just thought this was, so what? Do it on ESPN Plus. Make people pay more to see the streaming services. I get it, but like, it just kind of sucks because now you're going to see commercials, and I laugh because now I'm going to miss the 2 Saints touchdowns all year because they'll probably be doing commercial. Like, I mean, I've seen so many memes now of people being like, oh, Saquon jumps backwards, Burger King commercial, right? Or Jane Daniels throws it to the end zone, McDonald's commercial. Like, we're not going to see this, and it does suck. When it comes to fantasy, the red zone is the king
Yeah.
because I want to see highlight plays because that's what I'm watching on my phone. So now it feels like the YouTube NFL package is the way to go because now you need 17 TVs or whatever up so that you can watch every game going on. That's what the red zone was, and you're taking it away from the consumer. And guess what, ESPN? This is why you're always a step behind.
Well, Anthony, here's another deal too. Is I hope they do more side by sides, so you don't miss it. But what if they do a side by side and you say a Saquon Barkley kind of move that he did last year? They're not going to interrupt that part, and you're going to get less of a picture of it than you did when you did before. You know what I'm saying? It's if they do a side by side, it might ease the pain a little bit when they're running a commercial and doing the play, but it's still not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. And they may lose viewership over that, and maybe they go back to it. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though. Like when they're saying full commercials, they're saying not side by side. They're saying there's going to be moments where you're watching the game and then it goes away, or watching Scott Hansen goes away to a full picture commercial. And that's what we as consumers just didn't want. And you're going to tell me I got to pay 30 some bucks a month just for the red zone. So no, like it was better when it was the way it was, but like all good things, they got to go bad when people got to get the dollar bills in it.
Meat hooks into it.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's the price we have to pay, and we're still going to pay it because we need to watch these games. So,
Damn straight, babe. That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of fantasy, like you said, a lot of fantasy owners need this kind of deal. I've been in fantasy for 13 years, and I loved it last year. I actually got it and loved it. So let's see.
Well, let's move into some of the games this weekend. Anthony, what is your must-watch game this week?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. Two teams that probably won't even make the playoffs, but it's a great week one matchup. Steelers versus Jets. Obviously, the quarterbacks have switched teams. Justin Fields, that used to be on Pittsburgh, is now for the Jets. And then you have Aaron Rodgers, who was with the Jets, went to the Steelers. Outside of the quarterback matchups, it's just two teams doing two different total things. The Steelers are all in with old people, it seems like. DK Metcalf isn't the young guy anymore. He's now on the Steelers. You have Aaron Rodgers there. You went out and got defensive players, all this as well, just to make a run to it. At the same time, the Jets are trying to get that glory that they had before Aaron Rodgers. And it seems like every other day I hear about this guy's hurt. This one. I mean, do we not just forget about that? Justin Fields at one point tore his Achilles. Like we thought the year was already over for the Jets. I think this will be a good game, though. This will be a game where we'll kind of find out if the Steelers are worth the shit, and the Jets, if we're going to see an 0-16 Jets team. Or 0-17, my apologies.
All right. Tim, what are your thoughts?
I think the Jets have got to run the ball and run and run and run and run. They've got to run it right at Pittsburgh because Justin Fields right now is not a person to get the ball down the field. I'm sorry. He can get the ball down the field. Can he hit anybody with it? I doubt it. Maybe a fan, but that's it. I mean, he has got to they've got to run the ball. And Pittsburgh, let's see what we got with Rodgers. He didn't play a whole lot in the preseason. Can he mesh with them guys, the receiving core? And they still got Jaylen Warren. They've got a hell of a rookie running back, Caleb Williams, I think his name is. Caleb Johnson. And so they might, lean on that and so that Rodgers could get his feet under.
Well, you got to remember, he didn't play any preseason.
No.
He didn't play any. And then the other side of it, too, you say Justin Fields. I'm going to hold off on going after some of these quarterbacks until we start seeing the game, only because if you would have told me Sam Darnold last year would have had the year he had, I'd have been like, what the hell? Is Justin Fields the Sam Darnold this year? I don't think so. But I do think he's got a wide receiver core. I mean, Garrett Wilson is a stud. Yeah. And he kind of got overshadowed when Aaron Rodgers was there, Devontae Adams, and the old guy, and they should be able to pick it up. But Breece Hall is wanting out of New York. I would run him till he's done. Like I would nonstop up the middle so that no other team wants him, or he thinks about what he wants in the future.
Right.
Very good. All right. Well, Tim, tell me about your must-watch game this weekend.
I think this could be a game that we see in late January. Buffalo at Baltimore. Oh, this is at Buffalo. I'm sorry. Baltimore at Buffalo. Yes. A matchup between the last two MVPs of Lamar and Josh. They had similar off seasons. They went and just held everything together. Just get everybody back together. This is going to be the last home opener at a Hallmark Stadium, because next year they move into their new stadium. And they've had over 400 games at that stadium. They've been there since '73. So that's almost 50 years. Well, that's been 50 years, 52 years. So, I mean, they've been there for a long time, a lot of good football. I think this is a matchup that get your popcorn, boys and girls, because I think this is going to be a great running by two quarterbacks, and Allen and Lamar. They both have good running backs, and James Cook and Derrick Henry, which is on my fantasy team. And I think I think the defense on Baltimore is really good compared to Buffalo's their secondary is kind of spectacle, but I think this is going to be a great game.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is definitely a big game. And before I kick it over to Anthony, you both had one of these teams as your Super Bowl champion. So this is a good game for the two of you. Yeah. Any Sodies that we should be expecting to be?
I'd bet a Sody. I'd bet Buffalo on this game. And here's why. Buffalo, for some reason, has everyone's number in the AFC in the regular season. And then it comes to the playoffs. That's when they lose to the Ravens or they'll lose to the Chiefs. But in regular season, I'll take Josh Allen and that crew all day. Definitely in Buffalo on a Sunday night. Ooh. You want a Sody with that?
I'll go, Joe. I think Lamar has one hell of a game. I think I could see him passing for over 200 yards and maybe even running for 100. He might do 100.
No way. Here's why they're not going to do it. Because I drafted Buffalo's defense, so that's why it won't happen. Not because of the players, right, and not because of the games. It's because Anthony Cook from Wisconsin drafted the Buffalo Bills. No, I think this is a great game. This is definitely one of those ones we'll talk about, obviously, in the playoffs and things like that as well. I think when you talk about Josh Allen, can this team still keep everything flowing, right? Like when you look at the offense, you got James Cook and you got wide receivers, but can Josh Allen keep it flowing? Josh Allen also did really well last year of not throwing interceptions. The year before, threw a lot of interceptions. Go figure when I had him on my fantasy team. But can he do that again this year? Can he keep the ball in their possession? They were, 1 yard away from going to the Super Bowl last year. If the Chiefs don't stop them on that 4th and 1, I think this is a game that will definitely take us into a good weekend. Now, remember as well, this is Sunday night game. I think there's a must-watch game on Monday night, but we record Sunday, so we'll talk about that Monday night game because if the Vikings lose, I might go bald. I can't have the Vikings lose in this game.
No.
Yeah. What do you think? Bald with a mustache?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. God, that's a great look on you.
I will hide the Clippers. I won't let that happen.
But you got to remember, too, not just these two must-watch games. Sunday is going to have an action-packed football. And it's, like we said, the red zone. But this is where last week we lost it, right? We had Saturday. We had all those good college football games Saturday. And then Sunday we were just kind of twiddling our thumbs waiting for that night game for Notre Dame. Obviously, we were twiddling our thumbs a little bit more because we were playing bocce ball. But at the same time, it was one of these things where now we're in that season where it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. MAC gets start to play, and they start playing on Fridays. And it's nonstop football. Just enjoy it, people.
Yeah, well, I guess I had a question on just to ask real quick. With it being week 1, do you think there's going to be some rust to get off, or do you think they're fine-tuned and ready to go with preseason?
Well, I'll say that what surprised me about week 1 for college football was I didn't think there was a lot of missed tackles until North Carolina played. Then I was like, holy shit, how many missed tackles? But I don't think there was bad on missed tackles. I think you may see that in the NFL. Now with today's game, with what they can do in training camp and what they can't, there's not a lot of contact. So when it comes time to play games, they're the best of the best, but they're going against the best of the best. Mm-hmm. So I will say I would expect some missed tackles, some bigger plays probably in the beginning. At the same time, it could be the total opposite where it's defensive oriented because these offenses are nervous to see what they have.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. Tim, what do you think?
I think you just made my point. I think it's sloppy ball. It's not going to be a lot of these teams, you won't know what these teams are going to be like until October.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. You're going to get about halfway through the season, and then find out what your team is all about. You really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, but definitely tune in to Cover 2 Cook because we'll give you the hot takes and saying this quarterback's trash, and 3 weeks later he'll be good. So who knows? I mean,
Right.
I had this guy on this podcast that I was watching that he was like, North Carolina, man, they're gonna win the SEC. Oh wait, that was Tim Cook,
Yeah,
dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, geez,
Gee, boy.
you just don't know what these teams are like. But I will say, the Buffalo and the Ravens going at it on Sunday night. That will be a good game, no matter what. I don't care if they play 3 weeks, or whatever. They always know each other's numbers. They'll play a good game.
Well, any good game comes with good entertainment. So, Tim, why don't you close us out with your best bets for the weekend?
I didn't tell my results last week. There's a
Nope.
reason, because I didn't do very well. I was 1-3. So far this year, out of 2 weeks, I am 2-3 in the college. I haven't picked any NFLs yet because there's been no NFLs. So I'm going to start out with Ole Miss and Kentucky. Kentucky has lost the last 7 games against conference opponents. The road team has covered the spread in 5 of Kentucky's last 6 games. I think Kentucky struggles against the new quarterback for Ole Miss, Simmons. And at Ole Miss, I like Ole Miss given 10 points at home. Second game on the college, Fresno State at Oregon State. Oregon State has won each of the last 11 September games against non-AP ranked opponents, while Fresno State has covered the spread 6 of the last 7 road games against the old Pac-12, because there is no more Pac-12s. I think it's a Pac-2 now in college football. I like how Fresno State looked in their first game of the season, and they are just a small road dog. Give me Fresno State getting the 3 points.
Ooh.
Turn it to the NFL. Detroit and Green Bay. The Packers have won each of the last 12 home openers, but the Lions have got their number as they've of the last 8 road games, both being last year, and the Lions won, and a 6-1 in their last 7. I think the Lions struggle this year by losing both their coordinators. I like the Packers to win and to cover the 2.5. Last game, Houston versus the Rams. The road team has won 4 of the 5 previous games. The Rams have covered each of the last 10 games as favorites. I like the Texans getting 3 points. I'm not sold on this Matthew Stafford injury. I think it's a lot more. We've talked about before. I think it's a lot more than what we anticipated. And I don't think he's completely healthy. And that Texas defense is nasty. So give me the Texans getting the 3 or giving the 3 points.
Okie doke. Anthony, how do you think he's going to do?
I hope he does good. I mean, again, he's always betting with his own money. So if he's just throwing out what he's looking at, so always take careful of that. I like this. There's another one, an honorary mention. You just got to be out of the state of Illinois when you do it, is Illinois versus Duke. Only being 3 points for a team that's almost in the top 10 against a Duke. A basketball school. Illinois better win that game. That's all I got to say. That one, I don't understand why that point spread is so close. There's something that someone else knows that I don't know.
Oh, that's so unheard
Yeah,
of.
I don't know. I think it is maybe they're just not sold on Illinois yet. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're
not sold.
11. Like,
Yeah.
you can't be not sold on them and then at the same time be like,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, unless Duke played a game last week that I didn't see, which I did not watch them play football last week. Like, I just wonder, I mean, there's a lot of good stories behind them, but that's a really close one. But if you're in the state of Illinois, you're not betting on Illinois because you can't do it.
Very true. All right, Anthony, why don't you close us out today?
All right. Well, we gave you college football. We gave you NFL. We are about to turn off this podcast, sit our fat asses on the couch, and watch Cowboys versus Eagles. Got a couple people playing in fantasy. Good luck to everyone out there for that, right? And then we will be back on Sunday night. Do you know how much football will be before Sunday night? We'll be back on Sunday night giving you guys everything we can for Monday morning. You'll have everything that we talked about over the weekend, how Mr. Tim Cook did on his betting, things like that. If you want more of Cover 2 Cook, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all of whatever social media we got, we have it. So tune in to us if you want more. We will be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay up late, have too many drinks, and enjoy the football, the best sport in the world. We will see you on Monday.